Hi, this is Lavina Sabri from So Natural, and I am going to be speaking about healthy living. Today is my first time vlogging, and I am going to be looking at my notes just to make sure that I'm stating everything that I want to state. First, I would like to start off by saying thank you all for reaching out to us and still continuing to want to have our delicious food. Unfortunately, we were not able to have our restaurant open or continue with the meal preps and everything because I have been focusing on my health. As you all know, I am a big stickler for eating healthy and living your best life. I'm living my best life. Okay, but that's what I was in the process of doing, of taking care of myself, because I learned that I had hyperthyroidism. So let me just go back to explain a little bit to you first. I have had problems with my thyroid all my life. I had thyroid surgery when I was actually 10 years old. I had a goiter on my thyroid, and they removed the goiter when I was 10. Over the years, I've still had thyroid issues, but I didn't know that I had the thyroid issues. And some of the issues were irritability, anxiety, and I had mood swings. One minute I can be very happy, and the next minute I can be very sad, and for no apparent reason at all. And I really didn't know what was going on. And so that's what I learned later on, that it was my thyroid. I learned that in 2017, I noticed a goiter that was here on my neck, in which I'm going to show you my goiter in a moment. And I went to the doctor to get my labs drawn, but my labs were normal. They told me that there was nothing for me to do, that the goiter, they had to actually do a fine needle aspiration on it, and it was benign, so it wasn't cancerous or anything. So they told me to just stay like that. Don't worry about anything. In the end of 2017, I started to have symptoms, and I didn't know that I was having symptoms because I didn't know what the symptoms were, because I was never explained anything about hyper or hypothyroidism. So I had itchy skin, I had sweating. I had an accelerated heart rate. My heart rate would beat like in the 130s and the 140s just lying down for no reason at all. And then I also had tremors. Another thing that I got, if you look at my eyes, you can tell that they are a little larger than what they normally are. And that's another thing that I have. It's not as bad as some others are, but I still have bigger eyes than what they were initially. And so those are just some of the symptoms that I had. I never had anything with hair loss or anything like that, but those were the symptoms. And then I want to just show you my thyroid. Now, if any of you are squeamish or anything like that, please stop watching this video now, because I'm about to take off my scarf so that you can see how my thyroid looks. And then you're going to know what's going to lead me to the next thing. So here is a view of my thyroid, and this is actually my thyroid here. It is only supposed to be here. It's a small butterfly shape that only supposed to be in the middle, but this basically is my thyroid. Now, again, many of you know that I am really big on your food being your healing instruments in your body and everything. And that's one of the reasons why I had opened up the restaurant, and I catered to so many different diets, because I know through diet the food is where it is, and that's what we need. But there also comes a point where the diet, for me, it did no longer help, because my thyroid was still growing. It started out very small, but now it's actually 12 centimeters, and it's actually closing down on my trachea. And I've tried everything that I know to possibly try, and I will tell you in another video the other natural things that I tried. so that you can be aware of that. So if you are having thyroid issues, you can try those things as well. But I've come to this point where it's this huge, and if you can see, it's actually starting to grow downward. I don't want them to have to cut into my breastbone in order for them to get the thyroid out. So I will be having surgery to have a total thyroidectomy tomorrow, May 2nd, 2019, to get it all removed. Because it is so big, at first the scar would have to, it normally would go from like here to here, but because it's so big, they're going to have to make a bigger incision in order to get the thyroid out. So back in 2018 is when I started taking the medicine. And the medicine that I was taking is methimazole, and I was taking propranolol. I was taking those twice a day. And with my thyroid issues, with me having hyperthyroidism, with Graves' disease, it was making everything move fast. And then it started to slow things down. In September of 2018, I didn't feel that I was hypo, but I went to the doctor to have my labs drawn, and then they told me that I was hypo to stop taking the medicine. I stopped taking the medicine, but I was still feeling the hyper symptoms with my elevated heart rate and with the sweating, and the itching was starting to come back. And I called my doctor. Doctor didn't call me back, and I was telling her, I think I'm hyper again. Can I start taking my medicine? Never heard from them. So maybe about that next Friday, I wind up in the emergency room because my heart was beating super duper fast, and come to find out that I was still hyper. And when I went to go visit my physician, she actually told me she was on vacation and she left it to someone else to tell me that I was still hyper and that I need to start taking the medicine. And I was very disappointed in that, but I started back taking my medicine, started to feel good again. And in December of 2018, I was feeling good. And then just one day, it just all just went downhill. For 3 days straight, I was hypo, but I was extremely hypo. And if any of you are hypo, you'll understand these symptoms. For me, the only thing I can do is sleep. I physically could not wake up. I was just like there. It was like, I was just so tired. And I didn't have no appetite at all. And then with that, I also had anxiety. My anxiety was out of control. It was to the point where I felt like I was coming outside of my body, or my skin was crawling. There was any little noise that was repetitive would like just drive me crazy. It was just like really bad. I was scared to sleep with the lights off because I thought that I was gonna die. It was really bad. And I went to the doctor, and we started on the medicine again, but we started on a low dosage. But at that time, I was like, there has to be something that I can do to help myself. And so what I learned is that Graves is also an autoimmune disorder, and that I need to switch over to the autoimmune diet. I also read a couple of books. One of the books I read was Anthony Williams. I think it's called The Thyroid Medium. And then the other book I read was by Dr. Myers. Yeah, Dr. Myers. And it was about thyroid healing. And then I started taking a lot of the different supplements and everything so that I can get rid of the leaky gut and heal my body. Well, I started doing those things in December, like right after I had that bad experience with hypothyroidism, and I lost weight. I lost 30 pounds instantly. And it's been great. I'm still taking the different supplements that I was taking and everything. But by me doing those things, my thyroid was still growing. I went to the doctor a couple of weeks ago and learned that it's 12 centimeters and that it's actually starting to close off my trachea. So before it grows anymore, I am going to go ahead and have the surgery. I am sharing this with you because if any of you are experiencing the same symptoms that I experienced with the hyper or the hypo, please go to the doctor and get your thyroid checked. There are more people who have hypothyroidism than hyperthyroidism, and hypothyroidism is easier to take care of naturally. Again, I just want to let you know that this is very, very, very close to me and close to my heart. I really didn't want to have the surgery. I wanted to do everything that I absolutely could do to help myself and heal my body without having the surgery. But sometimes it comes to a point when you just can't do that. You have to depend on traditional medicine to help you to get through the things that you're going through. The other thing that I am not going to be happy about is that I'm going to be on medicine for the rest of my life and be dependent upon this medicine for the rest of my life. But at the same time, I'm still alive and I have to make the best out of it. So I just wanted to get on here and share some of my information with you about my thyroid and what I've been going through. And please do me a favor, because again, this is my first time vlogging. I'm a little nervous. So please like, share, and subscribe. And again, I am Lavina Sabri with So Natural, speaking about healthy living.